Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland, BROWNS. Let's get to the news. The Cleveland Browns are once again in the spotlight, but not necessarily for the reasons they'd like. After a tough loss in Week 8, where they got absolutely routed by the New England Patriots with a final score of 30-13, the atmosphere around the team has been tense, and the focus is squarely on some internal issues that could have long-term implications. Fans are used to seeing their Browns battling hard, especially with a roster packed with talent like Myles, Garrett. But sometimes even the best players get frustrated, and that's exactly what happened during that game. Garrett, who had an incredible performance with 5 sacks, was visibly upset on the sidelines, slamming his helmet down in frustration and kneeling alone in the fourth quarter. That kind of emotion from Garrett isn't new. He's a fierce competitor. And when things aren't going well, you see it in his body language. But here's the thing, what really sparked his frustration wasn't just the scoreline or his personal stats. According to sources close to the team, Garrett's anger was rooted in a decision made by head coach Kevin Stefanski. Stefanski pulled Garrett off the field to prevent him from getting injured in a game that was already a blowout. Now, that sounds totally understandable on the surface. When you're up big or even losing badly, coaches often take players out late in the game to protect their assets. And Garrett, being a player with a massive contract, a 4-year, $160 million extension signed back in March, is definitely a valuable piece of the puzzle, especially since the Browns invested so heavily in him. But for a player as competitive as Garrett, being taken out when he's still fired up and eager to make plays can feel like a personal slight. Jim Schwartz, the Browns' defensive coordinator, addressed Garrett's sideline tantrum in an interview this week, giving us some insight into what really went down. Schwartz pointed out that Garrett's reaction wasn't just about the game situation. "I like the competitiveness with it," Schwartz said. "Sometimes you get taken out of the game because it's a blowout win and you're protecting your guys at the end of the game. And we had that at the end of the Miami game. And guys want sacks and interceptions and things like that. They're easier to get at that time of the game than other times. But this was the point that we were down, and I appreciate the competitiveness of him wanting to figure that out." So, Schwartz clearly sees Garrett's fiery nature as a positive, even if it manifests in some frustration because it shows how much he cares and how badly he wants to contribute. Now here's where it gets more interesting. While Stefanski's decision to bench Garrett in a game that was already pretty much decided is understandable, it's also bound to stir up some debate among Browns fans. I mean, everyone knows Garrett's a superstar, a game-changer who can flip the momentum with a single play. You don't just want to sit him out if he's still eager to play, especially when the division rivals and playoff hopes are on the line. But Stefanski's priority is protecting his players, especially when injuries could derail the season. And considering Garrett's recent history, including a past request for a trade at the start of this offseason, which he ultimately withdrew after Cleveland made him the highest-paid non-quarterback in NFL history, it's clear that Garrett's got a complicated relationship with the team. Garrett, a 6-time Pro Bowler, is still one of the league's most unstoppable defensive forces. In 2025, he's already tallied 10 sacks in just 8 games, continuing his streak of double-digit sack seasons, which he's now in for his 8th straight year. His previous standout season in 2023 saw him win Defensive Player of the Year, with 42 tackles, 14 sacks, 30 quarterback hits, and 4 forced fumbles. Fans know that Garrett's impact goes well beyond the stats. He's a leader on the field, a game wrecker capable of changing the course of any game when he's firing on all cylinders. But frustration has been mounting on his end, mainly because the Browns are still struggling to find consistent success. Last year, Cleveland finished a disappointing 3-14, and so far in 2025, they're only 2-6, with no clear signs of turning things around anytime soon. This season, Garrett's presence on the defensive line has been a bright spot, and his leadership has been crucial in keeping the defense afloat. Despite the team's struggles, Garrett's individual performance remains elite. His relentless motor and ability to generate pressure make him a constant threat, and he's showing no signs of slowing down. And yet, the frustration is palpable, especially with the team's win-loss record not reflecting the talent and effort he and other key players are putting in. The Browns are facing a pivotal moment right now. Their upcoming game against the New York Jets could be a turning point, a chance to finally get a win and build some momentum. The Jets, led by their own set of challenges, are not the formidable powerhouse they once were, but Cleveland needs to execute better on both sides of the ball to capitalize. Garrett's role will be critical in that game. His pass-rushing skills could be the difference-maker in disrupting the Jets' offense and giving the Browns a shot at snapping their losing streak. Fans are hoping that Garrett channels his frustration into even more dominant performances on the field, because if there's one thing we know about him, it's that he's capable of changing the game single-handedly. Looking more broadly at the Browns' season, there's a lot to be optimistic about despite the setbacks. The team has shown flashes of the talent that made them contenders in past years. The defense, led by Garrett, remains one of the most formidable units in the league when at full strength. However, consistency has been an issue, and that's putting it mildly. The offense under quarterback Deshaun Watson has struggled at times to find rhythm, but there are signs of improvement. The coaching staff, led by Stefanski and Schwartz, are trying to mesh their strategies and get everyone on the same page, but it's clear that chemistry and confidence are still building. The Browns' front office has made it clear that they're committed to building a winning culture, even if it takes time. The recent extension for Garrett signals that they see him as a cornerstone for the future, a player they want to build around as they aim for that elusive Super Bowl. But for now, it's about navigating the ups and downs of this season, managing egos, and making sure everyone stays focused on the long-term goal. Garrett's recent reaction is a reminder of how much passion and fire he brings to the team, and that kind of intensity is exactly what the Browns need if they want to turn things around. Fans are eagerly awaiting the next game, hoping to see Garrett back on the field, unleashing his fury on opposing quarterbacks, and leading the charge to get the Browns back to winning ways. With the division still wide open, every game counts, and Garrett's presence is a huge factor in whether Cleveland can climb back into playoff contention. The AFC North is fierce, with the Ravens, Steelers, and Bengals all fighting hard, but the Browns know that with their superstar edge rusher firing on all cylinders, they can compete with anyone. So, as we look ahead, the focus is on the team's resilience and the leadership of players like Garrett. His desire to win, combined with the coaching staff's strategy and the collective effort of the whole roster, could be the formula that puts Cleveland back on the path to greatness. Fans, stay patient, stay loud, and keep believing. The Browns have the talent and the fight to turn this season around. It's all about how they respond to adversity, and if Garrett's recent outburst is any indication, he's more than ready to lead the charge once again. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Cleveland Browns news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Looking forward, Browns fans should be optimistic but also realistic. The season is far from over, and with Garrett's relentless drive and the team's potential, there's still hope for a strong finish. The upcoming games will be crucial, especially against teams like the Jets, who are struggling but still dangerous. Cleveland needs to harness their talent, tighten up on defense, and execute better on offense. If Garrett can stay healthy and motivated, he's capable of once again being the dominant force that can lift the Browns to new heights. Meanwhile, the team's locker room dynamics will be under close watch. Frustrations like Garrett's can either serve as motivation or cause division. It's all about how the coaching staff and players handle it. The Browns have a resilient core, and players like Garrett are essential for setting the tone. His passion is contagious, and it's something that the fans love to see because it means he cares deeply about winning and representing Cleveland with everything he's got. In the broader picture, the AFC North remains one of the most competitive divisions in football. The Ravens, Steelers, and Bengals are all battling hard, and every win or loss can shift the balance of power. For Cleveland, it's about weathering the storm, learning from setbacks, and coming back stronger. The coaching staff is working tirelessly to get the best out of this team, and players like Garrett will be at the heart of that effort. With so much on the line, every game becomes a playoff-like showdown, and the Browns know that they need their leaders to step up. And let's not forget, the NFL is a league where momentum can change in an instant. A big game from Garrett, combined with solid performances from Deshaun Watson and the rest of the squad, could be the spark that turns their season around. Cleveland fans are no strangers to adversity. They've seen their team rise from tough situations before. That's what makes this story so compelling, the possibility of redemption, of overcoming the odds, and of finally reaching that Super Bowl stage once again. Garrett's intense reactions, his hunger for success, and his leadership on the field all point to a team that, when firing on all cylinders, is among the most dangerous in the league. So, Browns fans, keep the faith. Stay loud. Support your team through thick and thin, because moments like these define the character of a franchise. This season may have its ups and downs, but with players like Myles Garrett leading the charge, there's always hope that brighter days are just around the corner. The AFC North is not for the faint-hearted, but Cleveland has the talent, the passion, and the heart to fight through it all. And when Garrett is unleashed, there's no doubt he's capable of changing the game and inspiring his teammates to do the same. The journey isn't over yet, far from it. Cleveland Browns fans, get ready for what's next, because this team still has plenty of fight left in them, and the best is yet to come. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to US and TO, the Cleveland Browns. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Cleveland Browns news.